it's Shawnee. Welcome back. So while I tell you about this video, I'm going to start priming my eyes with the Colored Rain Paint Base Eyeshadow Base in the shade Wheat. So today's video is a collab with my friends Jan Van and Erica Conger. I think we've managed to do like one collab a month. So we are keeping with our schedule, and on the schedule for today, we're supposed to be talking about like our makeup origins kind of stuff. So Erica came up with these questions, as she always does. Erica always comes up with the questions. And we are, to answer them, while doing that, we are going to use, each of us will use a palette we've had the longest or a palette we've had for a long time that we really like. So let me tell you how I sort of keep track of things. What I do is I keep an Excel spreadsheet of a lot of things, and one of those things is my eyeshadow palettes. Also, I have a separate spreadsheet for my eyeshadow singles. So you know how each Excel, it's like an Excel workbook. So I have different sheets, and those sheets are, each one is a brand. And then I have listed all of the brands in alphabetical order, and I have the date of purchase. I also have if and when I've decluttered the palette as well. You love it. You love this amount of nerd that I'm giving you right now. So in looking through, oh, the other thing I have to say is I do like a process of like continually decluttering. So it's like this Tasmanian devil spirit comes over me, and I'm just like, get rid of it. I do it with my eyeshadow. I do it with the singles. I do it with clothes. Child, sometimes I do it with people. Okay? So out of the things I have right now, the palette I've had the longest is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. So this is the first mid-size palette that I purchased from Miss Denona. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. While I do that, let's hop in with some questions. Now, I think I'm going to use the first two questions. I'm going to put them together. One is, how old were you when you first started wearing makeup? And the other is, what products did you wear? So, child, I have to think back because, you know, I get further and further from the age I was. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in with this shade here, Flux. I want to say, okay, I'm going to try to keep my answers short, but as of this moment in my history, that hasn't been successful. And I'm putting that towards the inner part of my eye. Now, eyelid. Depending on what you identify as makeup. If it's like lip gloss, then I definitely started wearing lip gloss like 6th grade or something. But I was always wearing like chapstick or lip balm or something. My mom used to be like, your lips are always shiny. I'm like, don't be jealous. But in terms of like more than that, maybe like some powder or something, probably like 8th grade. Okay, so here's the thing. I play the steel drums. My dad and I have had several bands throughout the years. So sometimes when we had performances, if there were going to be like lights or cameras on us, my mom or my sister would like pat a little powder on me, you know, to take down the shine. Do y'all remember that? Come on now. Powder was always to take down the shine. So that would have to be around 7th, 8th grade. And then I probably started wearing a little more, like maybe a mascara or maybe some lip liner with the lip gloss. Y'all remember that look, like the brown lip liner and the gloss in the middle, even though who is it, Hailey Bieber or whoever is trying to bring that back, like if she invented it or whoever did that. So yeah, it was really simple. It's probably like lip gloss and lip liner. I don't think it was more than that. I think as I started getting into high school and stuff, maybe I started wearing like the blue eyeshadow. But you know what? I don't even know if we could wear makeup at school. I went to a private high school, you know, with Meghan Markle, I don't know that we could wear makeup. But I was for sure always wearing some lip gloss. I did wear makeup to like my dances and stuff. Anyway. Oh, and I would say that the one time where I think I started to like realize that I could do my own makeup was when I went to cheer camp, girl. Listen, cheer camp is hard. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's not easy, all right? Not only just like you have to cheer at every single breathing moment that you have, but it's also physically taxing, and it's like it's hot. Well, at least if you go, because it's always in the summer, and mine was at UCLA in California, and UCLA is just a big hill. Anyway, the coach of the cheerleading team, let me give you some context. I was the tallest. I'm about 5'7", maybe. And because everybody else was 5'1", 5'2", so I'm a good like 5 inches taller than everybody else. I was also the darkest and the most like the curviest. So homegirl decided that she was going to buy a size small medium for everybody. Small medium. So I already look different from everybody else. And now because I have on these little booty shorts and sports bra, it was supposed to be like shorts and a tank top, but that's not how it fit me. Maybe that's why I got all blue ribbons. But anyway, on top of that, she wanted us to have the same makeup. And I don't mean like the same shades. I mean like the same makeup. I was like, ma'am, you can acknowledge that this isn't going to work for me. Like, let's not play. So that's when I started like doing my own stuff if I had to do makeup. She was doing too daggone much. Girl, you out here trying to make me look like a fool. Like Boo Boo the fool. I'm not gonna let you do it. All right. What was the first makeup brand you ever tried? I'm 100% sure that it was a drugstore brand. Now, I don't know which one, though. So I'm thinking it was some of the OGs, like CoverGirl, Maybelline, L'Oreal, Revlon, Wet n Wild, I think. There was this like moussey. Was that might have been Maybelline. It was probably between CoverGirl and Maybelline. I know it wasn't the hipper stuff like Milani or Elf and NYX. I do remember that I started using Milani at some point. But I will never forget the CoverGirl Queen collection. Do you remember that? It was the collection where Queen Latifah was the like brand ambassador, and all the packaging was like purple, like lavenderish. I remember that because I was like, oh my gosh, Queen Latifah. And it's supposed to have better colors for darker skin tones. So those were definitely my drugstore makeup days. And then the first like non-drugstore brand was obviously MAC Cosmetics. I remember going with my best friend to, it was either like Macy's or Nordstrom to get my first blush. And after that, oh, also a lip gloss. Do you remember those sticky lip glosses? And like, I remember a blue eyeshadow. And then after that, I started using Makeup Forever. So those were like my intro brands. Have you ever taken a break from wearing makeup, or have you always worn it since you first started applying it? Like, I don't know that I've consistently just like always worn it. I do believe there was a time in grad school where I took like a complete break from it, or a break in some like instances. So here's the thing, like my initial like research line was body image and just like beauty of Black women. And part of that well, no, it was also eating disorders. Anyway, so part of that came from my own experiences. So I was not very confident in my appearance, my body, my everything. And I started going to therapy in grad school. Praise the Lord Jesus. It's crazy because they were like, you know, as you're training to be a therapist, you should also see what it's like on the other side. Child, it's hard. Therapy is hard. And I went to my therapist and I was like, I just need to come maybe like once or twice a month. I don't really have anything to talk about. Girl, when I tell you, maybe a few weeks later, I was like, ma'am, I need to come weekly. I was in therapy weekly for like 5 years. Don't play, okay? Don't play yourself. And I continue to be in therapy. I'm taking some breaks. Anyway, and I was talking about, I believe, how I felt about the way I looked. Girl, I felt, okay, do you, like yoga people, why are we always so zen? Like peace and blessings. I just got a text from somebody. Anyway, so I wasn't very confident in myself, in how I looked, in anything, how I spoke, how, like everything, okay? Just not confident at all. And so I like challenged myself to not feel like I had to wear makeup. So I would more often like not wear makeup, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. But I really wanted to show myself that I didn't have to wear makeup to be beautiful. That also happened with my hair journey, where I like challenged myself. I remember it was a bad breakup. Then I had child. So I just like cut all my hair off because I was like, I don't need to have it like super long and straight to like feel beautiful. So I just went through a lot in grad school. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. So there were times where I didn't really wear makeup. Like, I'm fine not wearing it. Like, I embrace myself a lot more than I used to. Not always. Not always. Sometimes it bubbles up and I don't feel confident. But yeah, there are definitely times where I don't wear it. Like, G rarely sees me with makeup on. Like, I'm like, dude, why you always see me while I have no makeup on? He's fine with it, but still, like, I like to get it together sometimes too. I ain't going with this shade. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? So yeah, there have been times where I haven't worn it. There were a couple of times where I had like an allergic reaction or something to whatever. I don't know that it was to makeup, but I would not wear makeup during those times. One allergic reaction, y'all. I know I'm not staying on topic. One was in grad school. Why did everything happen in grad school? And I woke up one day and my eyes were so red, like possessed by a demon red. So obviously I wasn't wearing makeup then. I went to the walk-in urgent clinic. I went to like all these places. I saw doctors, I saw interns. Nobody could figure out what was going on. And I would go to class and the professors would be side-eyeing me because they thought either I had a substance problem or I was crying all the time. And I was like, nah, I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm okay. In general, my eyes are just beet red. Finally, I went to Lens Crafters. Do you remember Lens Crafters? And the guy there was like, oh, it's your contact solution. Took him 2 seconds. Anyway, during that time, I obviously was not wearing makeup because I thought my eyes were about to fall out of my head. Okay. What do you think has changed the most about makeup since you first started wearing it? I think now I could go, okay, so like when I forgot all my makeup at home when I went into my office, I was able to go to CVS and pretty much get a full face of makeup. I was able to get a foundation, a blush, contour, highlight, lipstick, brow, pencil, eyeshadow. I can't say that I would have been able to do that years ago because companies used to think that there was just one shade for darker skinned people. It was just dark or deep. That's all we had to choose from. So there's definitely that difference. Like, I feel comfortable enough knowing that I could probably put something together and have a full face of makeup if I go to the drugstore. So I feel like in the past couple of years, maybe like the past 5 to 10 years, it's been steadily changing with most brands except Hourglass. Sometimes it's Tarte. Some brands have more shades. I would say that's the biggest difference. I think I see more like not following the rules of makeup. Like there was a time where, and probably still is, where people were like, dark-skinned women shouldn't wear red lipstick. If I could tell you how many red lipsticks I have, and I wear them all the time. So I think there are some rules of makeup that people are no longer following, or at least trying not to. And I think, again, like there's been some progress in shade ranges. Still have places to go with that, but I'm actually surprised that I can go into a drugstore, and if I stick to Milani, Elf, NYX, Wet n Wild, I can manage to put something together. That feels nice, y'all. That actually feels nice. What is a makeup product you miss the most from back in the day? That's hard. I feel like I don't remember things when they go away. Like, they have done construction on like our streets over here. I couldn't tell you what those streets looked like before the construction. I don't know what that's about. I've talked about it in therapy. I'm going to go into this shade here, I think. That is Clove. No. Yes. There was this powder foundation that Makeup Forever had. That was like my favorite foundation. Now, I started with powder foundations. I know a lot of people started with liquid. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what this is, this liquid stuff. I'm pretty sure that the first liquid foundations I used was probably Revlon. But I started with powder foundation. That was my comfort. And whatchamacallit, Makeup Forever had this really nice powder foundation that I liked. And when they stopped making it, I was so devastated. I would love for that to come back. Like, they now have a new one. I actually have that somewhere. But I really liked the OG one, like from a while ago. So that I wish they had back. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that... some of them are like formulations, like Cover FX, their foundation, their original Power Play foundation. That was one of my favorite foundations. The new formulation, though, I don't mind. It's actually pretty good. So I don't know. I don't remember, but I'll just go with that foundation from Makeup Forever. What is a makeup technique that you do completely differently than you used to? I mean, so much. So like I said, I think that I would typically just wear like lip gloss, powder, and maybe a blue eyeshadow, and some lip liner. So now I think I do everything differently. But I think it's because I've just added more. So rather than just like a swath of blue shadow, you know, I do a couple of colors, right? And now I wear blush most of the time. I didn't know that darker skinned people could wear blush. Now I do bronzer. Again, didn't know that we could. Contour at times, usually either or, sometimes together. I think lip stuff has stayed pretty much the same. That's probably the one thing that has stayed consistent. So I would say I do everything differently. And maybe foundation is the same also. But I have added in concealer. Didn't used to wear that. What is a makeup technique that you've always done exactly the same? Oh, I kind of said that. I think applying my lip products, the only thing that's changed with that is I used to only always wear gloss. Like, my lips had to be shining. You had to see it. You had to see them from, like, the back pew of the church. I have a lot of church references today. It's Sunday, that's why. So that is definitely something that I believe has just stayed pretty consistent. I don't think I've done anything differently. Yeah, because everything else, like, I vacillate between using a brush to apply my foundation and using a sponge. I, like, my blush placement changes. I've changed how I do my brows, changed how I do my eyeshadow. And so I think the only thing that has stayed consistent is lipstick, how I apply lip products. I'm gonna go into these two here. Why do I always use the same colors? I don't know. I just get really drawn to, like, the oranges and the pinks and mauves and stuff. What is a brand from back in the day that you wish was still around? Oh, what was the name of that brand? What was the name? Started with a P. So this is from when I started buying, like, makeup at, you know, the makeup counters in the malls. I remember Lancome. Prescriptives? Is that the name? Like, I don't know why that, I don't even know that it was that great. But child, I would be in Dillard's in Missouri getting my prescriptives. And I think also Lancome. So I don't think prescriptives is around anymore. Fashion Fair has come back. Cover FX seems to be coming back. Marc Jacobs, I think, is coming back. So I can't think of one that is no longer around. Oh, does Iman still have her makeup thing? That was cool. It might even be cool if they brought Color Girl Queen back. Color Girl. Cover Girl Queen back. Because I wonder how... I know that's not a full brand, it's just like a part of a brand. But I wonder how it would be nowadays, since things have kind of gotten a little bit better. Like, I wonder what those products would be like if they release them now. CoverGirl, contact me, girl. Maybe we could do some kind of collab. I'll be the new brand ambassador. Do you think makeup products have improved, gotten worse, or stayed the same? I think I'm going to go into this shade here. Improved, gotten worse, or stayed the same? I think as a general... What's this? I think overall that it's generally improved. I say that in terms of like maybe formulations. I think they're attempting to take all the nasty stuff out of makeup. This isn't showing up the way I want it to. Yeah, I want to say that maybe it's better. than years ago. I do think that some of like the rules of makeup have gotten a bit more complicated. Like I feel like people would just pat on some powder and like put on some mascara and go about their business. But I feel like now it's like it's an industry, it's an artistry also. So I think things have changed in that way. But I think for the most part, things have improved. And then I think some things have stayed the same. Like, I feel like we still are dealing with some of the same stuff in terms of brands not changing with the times. And, you know, maybe making the same thing over and over and not adding many shade differences hourglass. So, yeah, I think there are some things that have changed, and part of that, I believe, also depends on the style at the time. I'm like all in the camera. The style at the time, what is seen as popular, what the celebrities are wearing and such. So yeah, I mean, I think I sort of believe that for everything, we should just be continually growing and improving, you know? Like, I think that for myself, professionally, personally, and so I'm going to put that on the makeup companies as well. I think we just need to continue and grow. I almost feel like we should focus on improving what we have before we start introducing all the new stuff, you know? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I do want to deepen this out, maybe even a bit more, and put more of this on. Oh, wait. You know, as I am thinking, there are some things that have gotten worse. These big old caterpillar lashes. Y'all, why we do that to ourselves? I don't like those. I don't like them. Initially, when I first saw someone wearing them, I thought it was a joke. And I was like, oh, oopsies, you want them like that. Which I also think people should do their makeup how they want to. And also, the length and the seeming heaviness of these lashes, like, they're very snuffleupagus. And that, if that is the look you're going for, by all means. But I think maybe we've, like, lost the plot a little bit with lashes. Yeah. Definitely lost the plot on that one. Okay. Discuss a good memory you have about makeup from your youth. Okay. This sort of piggybacks on the cheer camp story. So, cheer camp, right? So I joined varsity cheer as a senior. You know, because at that point I had been admitted into college. Like, I was like, I actually tried out as a joke. I was like, I'm going to try out for the cheerleading squad. And I made it, girl. So, this was in high school, varsity cheerleader. And so we went to cheer camp. Mind you, I had just had like a major surgery for something. So I wasn't sure that I was going to go to cheer camp. But I was determined. So I was like, just body heal so that I could go. And I wasn't completely healed, but I was able to make adjustment. Anyway, so as I was saying, you have to cheer from morning till night. And then you're in the sun, like practicing your dances, your stunts, all that stuff. And you're in the hot California sun in the middle of summer. And, you know, we all wore sunscreen, sunblock, whichever one it is, SPF. And after I got back from cheer camp, it was time to take my senior portraits. You know the portraits where you have the little white or black lace off the shoulder and you're like that, right? Mind you, Tyra Banks went to my high school, so her picture was in there looking all flawless. But I came back and I was looking at my face and I was like, what is wrong with my face? Girl, I was sunburned. Sunburnt. And my dad was like, black people don't sunburn. I was like, sir, yes they do, because look. Now, it was time to take my senior portraits. And I'm like, what do I do? I've never experienced, I had never been sunburnt. I had never been sunburned in my life. And mine wasn't even as bad as the other cheerleaders because I had a lot more melanin. But they had burns like all in their scalp. And I was like, ouch. So my sister went with me. What's that? What's that? Here come Rose. What's that? What? Yes? You want to come say hi? Come on. Come on. Oh. Come on. Oh, she said no thank you. So my sister went with me to do the pictures, to like do my makeup. And when I tell you, we were trying so hard to like make it look like I wasn't peeling from the burns, because I just had my dad kept insisting that black people don't sunburn. I was like, sir, like my dad is darker than he is, like a deeper, richer skin tone than me. And I was like, maybe you don't burn, but girlfriend, I do. So we were trying to cover that mess up. And first time ever, and I think the only time, I was airbrushed. Like after they did the photos and then they were like, we're gonna airbrush you. Because I was looking a mess. And I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't know they could airbrush people like that. And because I'm just so gullible, that's why now I forget that people be doing Photoshop on their photos. But but honestly, the non-airbrush photos were nice. They were really, really nice. I had just a little bit. I didn't have much makeup on. I had a little bit of powder probably and like a little bit of gloss, and some mascara maybe. But girl, it actually, like, the non-airbrush ones look good. The airbrush ones look good too, but it wasn't like how I thought it was gonna be, like terrible. I'm always telling, like, black people can sunburn, first of all. Okay, we still need to wear sunscreen. We still need to wear SPF, because G likes to be out in the sun and the water. And one day I was like, what is that? He was like, oh, I got sunburn. He's darker than me, so listen, we could burn. I don't know why he didn't wear no daggone sunscreen. Anyways, y'all. Oh, I think there's one more question. Sorry. But that was like so funny because me and my sister were like, what are we going to do about your face? And I was just like, what is happening? Like, what is this? Mind you, I did have on sunscreen, y'all. I did have on SPF. And the thing is, we sweat it off because we were dancing and, Rose, dancing and cheering the whole time. So you just like sweat it off. And I don't think any of us remember to reapply. But I was like, I'm glad I got some more melanin because y'all look like you were in pain. Ma'am. 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 I know you hear me calling you. She rolled her eyes. Okay, let me finish everything up and put on a lip and I'll be back. So here is the finished look. I really like this palette. I still like this palette. Let me know if you have it and how you feel about it. Hopefully my questions weren't too rambly. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were. But I hope you enjoyed them a little bit. Make sure to head over to Erica's channel and to Jan's channel. I will be sure to have their videos linked in my description box. If you go over there, tell them I said hi. And if you're from either of those channels, hi. Hopefully some of this was helpful. I also hope you are continuing to take care of yourself. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I will be sure to have the questions either in a pinned comment or in the description box, just in case you want to answer. I like any of them. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.